I did not go to a very famous university. I did not go to a very famous higher education school. So at that time, my biggest awards were the jobs I was able to secure, because I secured quite good jobs.
Started from I was a child. I always wanted to know more about the IT world, but I really never had the chance to do so. But when I had the opportunity at school, I was like, this is my chance.
The thing that I would really vouch to the world is that we should provide an environment for women in the tech industry to feel welcomed.
I think, in 2017 by joining some other Trailblazer community like the developer group, and in 2020 I meet Doria, my co-leader, and this is the first the start of our amazing adventure in Women in Tech.
Hello everyone, welcome to Peak Talks by Oreivaton, where we dive into fascinating topics, explore intriguing stories, and engage into thought-provoking conversations around technology, Salesforce, and leadership. At this podcast, we're on a mission to share knowledge and insights, foster learning, and inspire you to achieve your full potential. I'm Yassine Kandili, co-founder and CTO of Oreivaton, and I'll be your host for today's episode. So get ready for a journey full of discovery and inspiration. Today, we'll be putting the spotlight on women in tech. So I am joined by some incredible guests who are paving the way on different grounds and in different geographies as well. Together, we'll explore their journeys, triumphs, and challenges. So join me in welcoming our guests, where first we have Frédérique. Welcome, Frédérique. She's a Salesforce MVP, Salesforce Women in Tech group leader, and a Golden Hoodie winner. Next, let's welcome Yassmin, who is a bright Salesforce consultant working at Oreivaton and who is co-leading our podcast initiative. Then Yosra, who is a Salesforce architect, head of innovation at Cloudity, and Salesforce Women in Tech group leader since 2020. Last but not least, Basma, who is a shining Salesforce consultant and also co-leading our internal newsletter initiative with a lot of creativity and passion. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. And so let's start off by just a quick round of introduction for our viewers and listeners to know who you ladies are, and to get to know a bit about your experiences from an overall perspective before we dive deeper into the conversation. Frédérique, would you like to start?
Yes, thank you, Yassine. So my name is Frédérique. I am a Salesforce solution architect for the Academic Group. I started my journey in Salesforce in 2018 with a reskilling program designed especially for women. I entered Modis, and I was a functional consultant for 3 years. And since 2022, I am a solution architect. In the meantime, I became a committee group leader. I first animated the admin group leader for my city, Lyon. Now I am the group leader for the Salesforce Women in Tech. I also mentor women who are reskilling, and I also speak at several conferences, Dreaming conferences. And I was very happy to be twice speaker at North Africa Dreaming already.
Good to have you again, Frédérique.
Thank you.
Yassmin, would you like to go next?
Yes, sure. Thank you, Yassine, and hello, everyone. I am Yassmin Kardad. I am a Salesforce functional technical consultant at Oreivaton. I am also an IT state engineer, and I also work here with in the project initiative, as Yassine said before. I hold currently 3 Salesforce certifications, and I guess that's all. And I'm so happy to be here.
Happy to have you, Yassmin. Yosra, we met in the Salesforce World Tour in Paris a few months ago, and you were so happy to when we talked about the podcasts, Peak Talks, you mentioned that you would really like to be present, and I'm really more than happy to have you here today.
Thank you, Yassine. So, hello, everyone. Thank you, Yassine, for this invitation. I'm so happy to join this podcast. So, I'm Yosra Saidani. I'm a mom of two boys, 8 and 10 years old. I'm also Salesforce Solution Architect with 20 certification. Currently, I had the position of Head of Innovation at Cloudity, a pure-player Salesforce partner. I'm based in Paris. I'm a Salesforce mentor like Frédérique. I'm co-leader of the Paris Women in Tech Trailblazer Community Group, co-organizer of the French Touch Streaming, and I'm also speaker at Salesforce and Trailblazer community event like French Touch Streaming, North Africa Dreaming, Dreamforce, and so on and so forth. My journey has been full of excitement, and I'm eager to talk more about it today.
Clearly, it's going to be an inspiring talk, I'm sure. Basma, our passionate consultant.
Yes. I'm Himal Basma. I am an IT engineer, and also I am a consultant at Salesforce consultant at Oreivaton with 3 certificates, 3 Salesforce certifications. And I would like to describe myself as a creative human who likes to write and gets inspired by nearly everything in this world.
Beautiful. So let's kick it off with a hypothetical question, which is where you're going to imagine you have a superpower that is going to help you upgrade one aspect of technology overnight to benefit the world. And I would like to hear what each of you, or yeah, what that aspect would be for each of you. Basma, what would that thing be for you?
Actually, I would think more about a way to enhance VR in order to give people the ability to live in other people's situations. It's like to promote empathy of some sort.
Wow.
It's
It's
like
the first time I hear
giving people the
an
ability.
answer like that. That's wonderful. Yassmin?
For me, I would say that I would go more into a technical, in a more technical way, because I would say for me, if I could upgrade one aspect of technology, I would choose to upgrade something Salesforce, for example. And what comes to my mind is like the data modeling in Salesforce, because personally, in just this year that I have worked as a Salesforce consultant, I find like the data modeling is a very crucial part in every project's lifestyle. And maybe having the power to easier that process of creating the objects and the fields in a much easier way, and even having like AI suggestions that would go with the project's industry, and of course following the best practices and data modeling standard. I think it would be very helpful for a lot of people.
I'm sure it would benefit the Salesforce community world for sure. Frédérique, what would that be for you?
I think Yosra and I have the same idea, but mine is more specific. Yosra, do you want to start with yours?
Yeah, thank you, Frédérique. So for me, I think I would focus on upgrading healthcare technology to make medical care more accessible and efficient worldwide. I think this could involve development advanced telemedicine platform, improving medical devices and diagnostic tools, or also enhancing healthcare data management system. I think that delivering technology to improve healthcare delivery, we can address healthcare disparity, improve patient outcomes, and ultimately save lives.
For sure, and I think AI is really playing a huge role in that. We see like huge advancements in like cancer detection thanks to AI technologies and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that would really benefit our world nearly. And I think we already see that happening with the power of IT because we've had different technologies before, and now it's getting even more interesting seeing those new inventions coming into life. Frédérique, I think you'll be in the same space of medical then, based on your response.
Yes, I will. Exactly, but I was a little bit more specific. When I was a kid, I used to watch a lot of Star Trek with my brother and my mother, and I was always amazed by the medical scanner that the doctors have on Star Trek. Why? Because it's very lightweight, it's very portable, it's non-invasive, and
Hmm.
because it's a small device, I always assumed that it was very consuming very light energy. Such a device would be a game changer because it would mean that people could be diagnosed everywhere without having to have the structure of a hospital. And in some countries and some cities, it's impossible to have that structure. So if we go even further, and this is where science fiction kicks in, it would even, in my opinion, be able to analyze the blood, and meaning we would get rid of needles, which is a huge problem for many people that are phobia, that have the huge needle phobia.
Hmm.
So such a lightweight device would be a game changer. It would
For
really
sure,
be a game changer.
and I like the science fiction aspect of it, like
Yes.
getting out there and imagining new stuff coming out in the
Always
world.
the nerd, you know?
Yeah, as a
Yeah.
matter of fact, I'm not surprised with your answer at all because it is
You
it
know
is
me
out
well,
of the box
Yassine.
as usual. Yes.
Yeah.
So based on that, actually, Frédérique, what has sparked your interest in in this geek world in IT, and how did your journey in the tech world begin?
So my journey in the tech world started actually when I was maybe 6 or 7 years old. And my mom was working in one of those very high selective polytechnical super, higher education schools, and it was in the 80s, and they were trying new computers. And as a kid, so the researchers brought all their kids in the labs, and they made us play with computers and actually do some very basic coding in order to make a mouse robot move on the floor. And that was it.
Wow.
That's what sparked my interest in technology. Later, societal bias pushed me into another direction, but that was always there.
Beautiful. That's indeed an early age. I don't think I 10 or 15 years ago people had that access to technology at that early age. We do see it now more often, but that's like an early access to a very niche
Yes,
kind of uh, space that
yes.
yeah, you must I see you as a very lucky person, Frédéric, knowing this fact now.
Thank you.
Um, And Yusra, we talked in the Paris World Tour, and you told me a little bit about your story, and I was really inspired. And I think it would make sense if you could share a bit of your milestones and experiences that have shaped kind of your world in IT. Because today you hold a very great and wonderful position as an innovation lead at Cloudity, where we don't see a lot of women in that innovative space. And to be honest, I think having you here on the podcast already is a privilege, and I think it would benefit the world to understand a little bit about the milestones and experience that have shaped you into reaching that position.
Thank you, Yassine. Yeah. So my first experience is in an international telecommunication leading company in Tunisia. This experience provided me a good opportunity to discover at first the CRM technology in general. The 5 years spent there were a good launching pad for my future. Secondly, when I moved to Europe, precisely Paris, I reached a new level with cultural and professional evolution and a new learning opportunities. In this process comes the crucial turning point in 2015 when I switched to Salesforce and discovered this fascinating world. It allowed me to evolve, learn, and experience continuous growth by obtaining certification and working on exciting projects. And last and not least, my ultimate turning point was joining the Trailblazer community. This culture of sharing and mutual support enabled me to lead a Paris Women in Tech Trailblazer group, expand my network, and become an international speaker, Salesforce speaker.
So did that start basically in 2020, Yusra, or did you start becoming involved in the Trailblazer community before that?
I think, in 2017 by joining some other Trailblazer community like the developer group, and in 2020 I meet Doria, my co-leader, and this is the first and the start of our amazing adventure in Women in Tech.
And we all know Doria, and we all love Doria for her engagement in the Trailblazer community and what she does. She does a lot of giving back, and shout out to her from here.
Yeah.
Do you think, Yusra and Frédérique as well, do you think that being a woman have made a difference in your process of integration into the IT world? And can you share a bit of insights of how you think gender does have an influence, if it does, of course, or if you've had that exposure to that difference?
It's for me, this is twofold. First of all, it's not only being a woman, it's being a reskilled professional and coming with a label on my forehead like former communications manager, former stay-at-home mom, with people assuming that I was not going to be able to get technical or to understand technical topics. And I think it was not me being a woman. It was me having that label of former professional from business. And second is where being a woman is a bit different is that we come with different behaviors in a workplace where men have always worked between each other for decades. And I think no one can expect those teams who are very used to work together in a certain way to shift the way they work from one day to another. So it's really a learning path and a learning curve for everyone. And the biggest, for me, difference of mindset I see in the tech world is not men women. It's either if you have a functional mindset or if you have a developer mindset. Functional mindset is very about the why. What are we trying to fix? Why? How are we trying to help business? What is the process? Technical mindset is much more about the what. What are we going to use first? And I think it goes beyond being a man or a woman. That's now after 5 years in IT. That's my point of view.
Okay, and Yusra, what's your take on that? Do you feel that, and I know you've worked also in Tunisia and now you work in France, in Paris. Have you felt there was a difference in terms of mindset with your process of integration into IT between Tunisia and Paris, or just in IT in general?
No, I think there is no difference, but the challenge in general. We worked on IT, so we worked on a field that we have a challenge is the underrepresentation of women in IT in general and persistent gender stereotype in general. So as a woman, we need to overcome this challenge and adapt strategies like so to educate ourselves, acquire strong skills which allowed us to stand out and gain the trust of our colleague, our manager. You need also to proactively engage in building professional networks, seeking mentor, for example, which provided invaluable support and wise advice to advance our careers.
And if I may add, now that I've listened to you answer, Yosra, the big difference I feel is that when we succeed, our success shines on every woman. When we fail, our failure is also raining down every woman. Whereas
That is
a
true.
man, success and failures are his own. So it pushes us to be twice as good to get to the same level of careers.
And that is the power, I think, of stigmatization in general, is that when a group of people or minority are stigmatized, then it only takes one person to do that expected behavior to confirm or to put a label
Yes.
on that
Yes.
Yeah,
the whole
we need
minority group.
to
And that's what we should
demonstrate
fight.
confidence.
And yeah,
Yes.
exactly. And
Yeah,
even if I would say if 90% of the people would show that confidence, it for the majority of people, that unconscious bias is confirmed by the first one who fails, let's say, or who shows that expected between quote unquote behavior that to again keep stigmatizing. But I think a lot of progress has been made thanks to people like you being in the industry and showcasing and really paving the way, because I really do see it as paving, because it's like uncharted territories that we're seeing. That's Salesforce architects, heads of innovations, um, people who will go out there, who will be present at events, who will talk about technical stuff, which we haven't seen in the past a lot of women talking about in-depth technical topics, and that is changing really the image of what we see, and really giving representation to women in tech. So that's really wonderful to see you doing that, and I'm really proud to see you also
Thank
doing
you.
that.
thank you.
Basma, looking at you, what have inspired you to pursue your career in IT? I know that you have a lot of passion in writing, in art, and like you said, in the world uh, in general, like everything out there. What have inspired you to go into this specific field of IT and later on Salesforce?
Actually, it started as a girl, a little girl's dream, which reminds me of actually a story that I've kept to myself. Now I'm gonna let it out.
You have
I was
scoops.
yes. When I think I was 9 years old or 10 years old. I have made a laptop out of art materials, and I was like, yay! I just built a laptop. It was obviously just a little kid's playing, but I went to my teachers and I was like, yeah, I've made a laptop out of art materials, and they were very supportive. She was very supportive. It was a woman. She was a woman, and she was very supportive. She was like, "You're gonna grow up, and then you're gonna pursue a career in maybe tech, and you'll have your own laptop one day." And that was something. Obviously, I got drifted away along during the journey because I was told it was a man's world, so I was scared away. But then when I was presented with the opportunity to pursue a career in the tech world, I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's just do it, and that was it.
And I think you're rocking the stage. We work together on a daily basis, Basma, and um, I can confirm it is not a men's world. It has been, but the world is changing,
Thank you.
and thanks to people like you again.
That
What
means a
has it been?
lot. Thank you.
Yeah, what has it been like for you, Yasmin, to pursue a career in the IT world, and also who have been your mentors, or let's say figures of that you looked up to, so role models that have impacted you into joining this career, or just having the courage into entering what has been a men's world?
For me, actually, it was like my studies. When I first started my university studies, I was like, I had I had to choose what I'm going to do for a living, you know. So we had a lot of branches, and I was like, what should
Hmm.
I choose? Then I had the opportunity to, like, I had so many opportunities to started from I was a child. I always wanted to know more about the IT world, but I really never had the chance to do so. But when I had the opportunity at school, I was like, this is my chance. This is my chance to do it, and this is my chance to try this field and know and try to make an impact and make a difference by being a woman in this field that is dominated, kind of dominated with men. So this is like the point and the starter of my journey in IT. So I started to learn about IT fields. Then step by step, it was like I found it like it was like the where I am going, what I'm going to do for a living. So this is like generally what was for me. Then after, I had the chance to work with a lot of incredible female leaders and senior project managers that really helped me to not just only improve my technical skills, but also improve so much, broaden my soft skills, like the project management, like knowing how to manage a team, like leadership, and so much more. So I can say that having the opportunity to work with more closely with more female seniors really helped me to become a better consultant and improve my skills.
Thanks, Yassmin. That's amazing. Wonderful to hear. So moving on to challenges and achievements, and I would like to understand what kind of challenges that each of you here with me in the panel have faced. So Yusra, what are some of the, let's say, biggest challenges that you have faced in as a woman working in the IT world?
For me, the biggest challenge has been balancing my professional life with my personal life as mother and wife. Juggling a busy workday, study for certification in the evening, caring for young children was not easy for me. It often involved long days, little sleep, and a delicate balance between work demands and family responsibilities. But to overcome this challenge, I had to be extremely organized, establish clear priority, and be flexible. And to be honest, I also have had a supportive husband. And finally, I will skip all other challenges that concern stereotype linked to the gender and origin, which are unfortunately widespread to these days.
I think, in our modern world, it is a complexity. And looking at your curriculum or CV,
Mhm.
Yusra, you are 20 times certified, and
Yeah,
you are very active in the Trailblazer
later
community.
community.
So, like, I'm sure that having a family and managing and juggling all the professional life and with all of the success that you're also having is a lot of work. So.
Yeah, and
I
as
don't
I
think that can
say,
be overshadowed. So
yeah,
kudos for that. Yeah.
that's why I say that the key is to to be extremely organized and to have a clear priority
Mhm.
for your life.
For sure. For sure. Frédérique, with regards to that, what do you think are the primary factors of let's say stigmatization, but also that contribute to having women underrepresented in the mainly in the technical roles in the IT world?
So, actually, there are several factors. Um, Working from one of the biggest HR company in the world, we have figures and analytics about gender representation and the family of work. We know that more than 50% of women actually are concentrated in only 12 families of work. And all those 12 families of work are about caring for others, or teaching others, or being of services. All the other families of work have more men represented in them. So there is a strong societal trend here. And what we see is that young girl and young female student see examples, many examples of women in many lines of work. But in technology, until very until only several years ago, there were not many examples of successful women in technology. Most examples were examples of men, so it was difficult for girls to project themselves in those careers. And then, just like Yosra said, there is also a cultural and family bias, where if women want to invest in their career and in a very challenging career, one of the key elements is actually to have a very supporting partner. And in many countries, still the main charge of the family lays on the woman's shoulder. So it takes an additional effort, an additional willpower, grit, and motivation to succeed in a career in general. Then you have, just like Basma said, um, all these bias from the school systems, where tech careers and tech scientific track for women and for young girls are not being advertised to them. And sometimes they are being scared away from tech learning. That was my case when I was 13. I wanted to go in automation system school, and everyone told me, don't go there. This is for boys who have not succeeded at school. That was a terrible,
Wow.
terrible, terrible message to get. So, and I don't regret that I went to law school and then I did communication and printing, which was very, very interesting. But there are examples where either tech careers are not being promoted to young girls, young women, young female students. And there are also factors, cultural and family and societal factors, that don't help women being represented in those in those sectors, which is a big problem, especially now with AI. Because if women are underrepresented, all the models that are going to be built with AI will not take women constraints and
Hmm.
challenges into consideration. And that this is not only for women, this is for all minorities, all colors, all regions, everyone.
Yeah.
And this is key. This is actually key. And stigmatization comes from the fact that if there are not enough people representing whatever, they
Hmm.
become the poster child, the poster face for that reality. And this is a difficult topic to tackle because we need examples. But everyone is different. Yosra and I, we are both CGL for women in tech groups, and we don't do the same thing at all. We are
Exactly.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are both architects, but in very different companies. We
And
have
in very
both
different ways
many,
also
many,
probably of
Yeah.
tackling
exactly,
issues and stuff like that. Yeah,
exactly.
for
We
sure.
have a lot of in common, but we are also so much different on so many points, which is
Hmm.
what actually is needed in all businesses, not only tech, because this is
And
what
that's
makes
rich. That makes it rich. Yeah,
exactly rich
exactly.
and adaptable.
Hmm. And I'm interested into knowing, like, for you, maybe Yasmin, you started in the IT world quite recently. It was 2 years ago. And with regards to what Frédérique has just explained, how do you think we can increase that gender diversity in IT technical positions, but also in leadership positions, um, from your perspective as a young person coming into this industry?
Um, I think first of all, it was said before, knowing that there is females in this world that have made it, and like in this situation we have like Salesforce architect with us, and when this young female like see that you can be one of them, I can be a Salesforce architect in like some years ago. I got personally. I got personally encouraged to do so, and I just started recently my journey in the tech world, and when I see all these female leaders, I got really happy and really motivated to do so much more and become as brilliant as they are. So like having more representation of female is important, and I think going like in this just talking about it is what is also very important. Like going and say your experience, talk about it, say that like every other female, I also experience a lot of challenges that may impact your journey, but the difference between a person and another, not just female, is that the way you handle these challenges. And I think we all have like challenges, but
Absolutely.
knowing that we need that we know that we should know that a lot of people have challenges, and it's the way we handle them that makes the difference between people. So I think that's what could
And Basma, what do you think the strategies that we can take, like as an organization, to promote what Yassmin has just said, or what are also your own ideas about how we can bring in more diversity without really being, let's say, having any kind of discrimination during the selection process?
Yeah, I actually vouch for equality and opportunity, meaning that providing the same opportunity that you provide to men and women, they should be kind of equal in that. And the thing that I would really vouch to the world is that we should provide an environment for women in the tech industry to feel, or let's say in tech or organizations to feel welcomed, because like there is not only the pressure that you being struggling or having your own challenges in the tech world, and also the pressure from outside. I mean, from the world, as you said earlier, it's like we're waiting for you to fail. You feel that pressure that somebody's there waiting for you to fail, just to tell them that, see, I told you. So if we actually provide women with an environment where they can thrive, that would be perfect, and actually that would help them thrive and overcome all of those challenges that Yassmin was talking about. And there is a little thing that I want to mention here, is that part of the things that actually motivated me to continue in the career of tech is the fact that I have chosen the right place to be, which is Oreivaton, where I feel actually welcomed, and I feel like people are actually encouraging me to make mistakes and learn from them. And
I was actually going to
that's the
mention
thing that
that.
I.
Thanks, Basma, for saying that. I was going to say that an environment where where let's say mistakes are tolerated. I really like two idioms that really, or mantras kind of. One of them is fail fast, means that go out and try things and fail and learn and move on fast, and don't like waste time trying to project or putting yourself under pressure for something that you haven't experienced yet. And the second thing is it's better to ask for, let's say, to say sorry, to say sorry than to ask for permission, in the sense that go out there and lead the way. And if you happen to make a mistake, of course, it should be a calculated risks, and not just throwing yourself out under a bomb for nothing, but really to just go out there and lead. And if you fail, it happens. It happens to everyone. We're human. We're there. We're here to learn, basically, and that's really the culture, or the cultural movement, that we need to start driving um, in general, for both men and women, but especially for women, because I think women have more pressure into like making it and being top performance because of that stigma that they're facing. Um, Speaking about all of that, I know that Yosra and Frédérique, you've had quite a few awards and achievements previously, and that like puts um, not that awards are the most important thing, but I think it's important to set an example for younger people to see those role models. So I'm just was interested to know what kind of awards you've won in the past few years or throughout your careers. Yusra, maybe you would like to start.
Yeah. For me, I think my greatest recognition is the opportunity to make, at first, a positive impact on women in the community. The growth and success of the community driven by the achievement of its members are the most meaningful award for me. And then my position of as head of innovation constitute a big recognition and a growing achievement of my efforts throughout my professional career, which is rest assured far of its end.
You
And
can
we
reach the sky,
absolutely want to
Yosra.
see it thriving out there. Wonderful. And Frédérique, what was that like for you?
Whew, it was a roller coaster. Just like I said, I used to work in communications, in internal communications. So, and I did not go to a very famous university. I did not go to a very famous higher education school. So at that time, my biggest awards were the jobs I was able to secure, because I secured quite good jobs. And that was a challenge in itself, because I did not have those labels on me, like you went to a big university and you went to such prestigious school. Then I decided to be a stay-at-home mom, which was a challenge in itself, and the greatest award was to have a well-behaved kid, let's be honest. And
Absolutely.
so in the tech, there are those that are well known, like Golden Hoodie and MVP. For me, what is more rewarding for me is that Golden Hoodie was putting a light on my strong will to give back as soon as I could in the Trailblazer community, because I knew exactly what it was and how difficult it was to come back to the workforce, especially as a non-technical person.
Hmm.
So I got this realization very quick into my Salesforce journey, that I needed to be part of the people who kept the door open. And then there is also MVP, which is also a very great honor, because most the community has voted for me. So thank you. What I like with that, it puts me in the same vicinity than my role models. It put me in the same vicinity than Doria, of course. Doria was one of the first people I was looking up to. Remember, there
Another
was a
shout
question
out to
from,
Doria.
yes, to Doria. There was a question someone from marketing in Salesforce asked. It was like, which women in the Trailblazer community inspires you? And I think it was like a no-brainer for me. It was like Doria Milrick, because she's awesome. And since that day, we became friends. She was my role model in France. And the ladies be architects were my role model and my inspiration to become an architect. My
I think
biggest
these
award
were,
today,
yeah, I think, sorry to interrupt you, Fatigue, but I think Ladies Be Architect is quite a role model for all of the Trailblazer community, because they've done a lot of change
yes,
actually, and
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure I have learned from Ladies Be Architects. I'm sure so many other people have learned from that community. And
exactly.
rest in peace, Gemma. It's a
Yeah.
Yeah.
shout out to her achievements and
Yeah.
everything that she's done for the community. So
But
we give
had
her
Susanna, Gemma, and Charlie not done what they've done, the great work and the great changes that they've done, I would not be at my position today. I would not be an architect. I would not be able to speak for reskilled professionals, and I would not be identified today as one of those role models. So yes, there are the tap on the shoulders, there are the titles, but for me, this is the biggest reward. Be, so soon in my Salesforce journey, having been able to open the door to many more women and being identified by new joiners, not only young women, but new joiners, as, oh, Frédérique, she did that. She used to work in communication. She used to be a stay-at-home mom, and now she's an architect. Yeah,
Amazing.
like the stigma now as a positive, I mean, the labels now have a positive meaning. It's inspiring other women to actually feel empowered to enter that kind of careers. And that, for me, that's the biggest recognition that can be.
Amazing. Hello back, everyone. So we're having a little game. It's like speed fire questions. You have 15 seconds, question for each of you, and 15 seconds to answer that question. So we'll kick it off with Basma. So I'm going to say the question first, and then I'm going to kick off the timer. So what has motivated you to specialize in Salesforce, and what advice would you give to other aspiring people to build a career in this field? Top chrono.
I would say I went for it as a challenge, and the diversity of it, and also the community. These are the three words that I would answer the first part of the question, and then the second part of the question. I would say, just go for it. Just
Done. Just go for it. I think that's a great like
yeah.
just do it. Yeah, just do it.
Just do it.
Amazing. Yusra, your question is, how do you think Salesforce affects or influences the bigger trends happening in the technology industry? And top chrono.
As a leader in CRM, Salesforce, I think, continuously innovate to meet the evolving needs of business and customers. Its platform-centric approach, combined with its ability to integrate new technologies such as EA and automation, influence
Done.
business practice.
I don't think it's a 15 seconds question, honestly, but go ahead, finish your answer, Yusra, please. You were saying that it's customer centricity
influence business
approach.
practice and transforms how companies in general interact with their customers.
Okay. Well, you haven't won, but yeah, the answer is quite to the point. I mean, added some value, I think. Frédérique, your question is, what is your favorite feature functionality in Salesforce, and how do you leverage them to drive value for your clients? And I think this is a nice question. And top chrono.
Easy for me. It's making magic with every standard features. And using standard features, it lowers the cost of the project, and it reduces the time to market.
Very sharp. But what would you see your favorite feature? We still did, like, is it flows? Is it like, I don't know, app builder? What is it?
Flow have a big part of my heart. Big
Yeah,
part.
I was expecting that as well. It's one of my favorite tools as well in Salesforce, especially with all the recent features. I'm like, wow, we're not going to do developments anymore. Okay, it's a lie, but
Yes, it's a lie.
Yassmin, your question is, in a rapidly evolving field like IT, how do you prioritize continuous learning and skill development to stay relevant and competitive in your career? And top chrono.
Okay, so I think it's important to stay updated on the recent trends happening, to know in each release what's going on. It's also important to participate in the community meetings, in general meetings where professionals meet and share knowledge.
And it's done.
Also, that's basically
Short.
I think it's
What
too
do we
short. I
win?
think
Yassine, what do we win?
yeah, I think yeah, we'll have to see with our producer who won this game, but I think we can ship something. Maybe Belgian chocolate. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yes, 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 yes.
That could be a nice idea. So let's see who is the winner. Frédérique, why do you believe it's important for women to actively participate in events, and how do you think their involvement or your involvement specifically contributes to the success of those events? I know you talked about being a mentor and enabling women in like just a few seconds ago or a few moments ago, but why do you think it is important? Why do you do that?
I'm going to try to be short and answer with two axes. First axis, like Yosra said, going to events is very important for the network building and making connections and getting the feel of what it is to be in that ecosystem. Second point is going to events as a new joiner is also and going to enable you to enter the Trailblazer community and benefit from that tremendous support and to understand what is so special about the Trailblazer community. And that's it.
All right, all right. I do think that makes total sense. And um,
Mm.
with that view in mind, Yasmin, how do you, or what kind of opportunities do you see for yourself if you would engage in those events? Like we've been present last year in North Africa Dreaming. You've been one of the main people leading that activity and managing the whole booth. So you've been present here and there, and we've also attended some sessions and met some people. But what do you think are the opportunities that are there in those kinds of events, be it community events or Salesforce official events for you?
Yes, so thanks to Oreivaton year, I had, like you just said, I had the chance to participate in the North Africa Dreaming event. It was an amazing one, which I had the opportunity to meet so many amazing people. Like I met Frédérique and Yosra in that event. By the way, I didn't know you like before, and it was like a turning point in my life because I started knowing more people in the Salesforce community. So participating in these events for me is a crucial part in my career, in my life in general, because it's good to know more experienced people, to network. It's an amazing opportunity for networking, sharing knowledge. So it's the first part, and also the community meetings. I think they are very very important, as you just all insisted on. I don't do a lot of community meetings right now, but I think it's very important to do so, and I hope this is gonna be one of my next steps in the future.
Yeah, I think it's important to be active indeed. And you mentioned something really important, which is about networking. And again, another idiom, another saying, we hear it a lot, which is your network is your net worth. So it's networking is really important in all the fields and more in Salesforce world, because it's a small community and we can help each other and enable each other through uh, in different ways actually. Um, Looking ahead for you, Basma, what are your hopes and aspirations for the future of women in tech? I mean, yeah, women in the tech industry.
Yeah, well, what I hope for women is to actually put themselves out there in the tech world, and to not be afraid of making mistakes, because that's how everybody learns, and to not listen to whoever is trying to scare them away with the saying it's a men's world, and also to just choose whatever suits them, and be to not be afraid. Actually, it's to not be afraid of making mistakes. That's it. That's what I hope.
And we're going to maybe close with a final question. So, Yusra, what advice would you offer to junior females working in the IT field based on your experience so far and the challenges that you've faced?
Um, as a woman who has worked in IT in general, I know how rewarding but also challenging it can be. My advice to women starting out in this field would be to believe in themselves and their ability. Don't let obstacle or gender stereotype discourage you. As I said, seek out mentor. It's very important to have mentor who support you and can guide you throughout your career journey. What else? Be proactive in acquiring new skills and building professional network, as you said. And another one is don't be afraid to assert yourself and make your voice heard in sometimes male dominated environment. Your contribution is valuable. Your and your unique perspective can bring great value to your team and the industry as well.
Make your voice heard. I really like this sentence, Yusra. Thank you so much for that. It's a great way to be concluding this podcast with this phrase. So as we come closer to the end of this episode of Peak Talks by Oreivaton, I would really like to extend a heartfelt thank you to all of you for being present, for sharing your experiences, your triumphs, and all everything that you've done. Your pieces of advice also to younger generations. We should all just remember that the journey towards greater equity and diversity is in not only in the tech industry, but specifically in the tech industry is ongoing. I hope it will not stop short anytime soon. And I think it's also really up to us to play a role into driving this change and contributing in making it, talking about it, like you mentioned, Yassmin, being present, make your voice be heard, not being scared away. All valuable insights from all of you. So thanks again. Let's continue to uplift and support one another as parts of the Salesforce community, but also in a larger world, and make a brighter future with equal opportunities for everyone to thriving. So thank you to also to our listeners for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe for more insights about the podcast and to hear the upcoming episodes. Again, until next time, stay curious, uh, share your comments, share the podcast with the people that you know. Give us your feedbacks. We're really looking forward to hear from you. And this is again Yassine Khandili and signing off from Peak Talks. Thank you so much.